We launched what we call College Stay Smart a few months ago when we saw a real demand in the market. And we were an early mover in this area. We saw that there was demand way back in March when dorms closed rather quickly and many students didn't have a place to go. And we really thought our product was a perfect fit for the needs of these students. It's been well received, as you mentioned. We've had partnerships with 20 universities now. We continue to reach out. That reach out has been very welcome, and we can measure the revenue in the millions of dollars at this point.
Unlike other hotel brands, you've been very aggressive. You've been building out more hotels across the nation. I'm just curious. I've been reporting a lot on this show, on Kelly Evans' show, about the distress that we're seeing in the hotel market, rising defaults, foreclosures. Are you looking to buy any of these distressed hotels and turn them into student housing?
Well, we're not in the student housing business. We're in the extended stay hotel business, and we don't really have any plans to get into the dedicated student housing business. What we have is a product that really fits the needs of the current time. It fits the needs for these students. It's completely flexible. We have no long-term leases, but they get everything they need. They get a fully furnished studio, they get a full kitchen, and most importantly, they get free high-speed Wi-Fi for their Zoom classes and to stay in touch.
Bruce, it's Kelly here, and I'm curious if the colleges end up footing the bill or how exactly that works, given the financial aid schemes most students are paying for this with. I'm also curious if it turns off other people staying at your hotels.
No, on your last point, we've really had fantastic, luck with that. The kids that we've had in our hotels have been very respectful. We haven't had any problems with that whatsoever. We generally keep them, on a certain floor of the hotel. But, the students that we've had have really not been disruptive at all. Been great citizens and guests, and we're happy to have them.
In the past, Bruce, you've told us that your hotels aren't really necessarily for leisure travel. It's people who are facing some type of distress in their lives, either through losing their job or their house, and are looking for a temporary solution. I'm curious, though, as the economy shows signs of strength, what forward bookings tell us about demand for fall-winter season?
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, we are a bit different than the average transient hotel. Our business customers are not typical business customers. They are folks that need to be on physically, at a location to do their job. And similarly, our leisure customers are usually on personal business. They're moving, they have a disruption in their life which causes them to need temporary housing. That's a very flexible business model, not just in bad times, but in good times. And we love the business. We think we've, demonstrated through the pandemic, the worst downturn in the history of lodging that, this business model outperforms pretty well. We are back to pre-pandemic occupancy levels. And, fall is always a bit slower, but, we're optimistic about our particular niche going forward.
And that's certainly telegraphed in your stock. I'm just curious how you would classify Airbnb to your company. Is it a competitor or a potential partner?
Yeah. We don't really see them as a competitor. They're generally short-term. They do some long-term stays, but our footprint doesn't overlap very much. We're basically in highway, suburban locations, where Airbnb tends to focus more on center cities and resort locations.
All right. Well, Bruce, we'll leave it there, and we thank you again for joining us. Bruce Haas, the CEO of Extended Stay America. Seema, thank you very much for bringing that to us.